Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday, August 18th. Thank you so much for being here. Our thought for today, we're going to pick up what we talked about last night. Talk about this general theme of control and anxiety. Last night we talked about desiring to control the things that we can't control. That produces anxiety. You can't control the weather. You cannot control God. You can't control even adding an hour to your life. If I try and control those things, then anxiety and fears will happen. But there are some things that we can control. And that basically has to do with our desire. And if we control those desires in a way that brings honor to God, that will help us with anxiety. If we don't control our desires so that they don't bring honor to God, then that's another way anxiety creeps in. So Psalm 37 gives us this encouragement. It says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. Well, what are we talking about in terms of delighting yourself in the Lord? Well, there are many things, but there's just three, okay? Three for this morning that I want you to hang on to. The first thing that we can desire that will bring anxiety, that will bring peace and counter anxiety, will be to desire the presence of God. Desire the presence of God. And there's a sweet irony there. It's because God is always near. He's always with us. I just have to desire what is reality. In the Proverbs, we have this encouragement. In all your ways acknowledge him. And he'll make your path straight. And really the better translation there, the better thought in terms of acknowledging him, is in all your ways desire his presence, as Bruce Waltke points out. Desire the presence of God. He's here with us all the time anyway, Psalm 139 says. But let's desire that. Psalm 73 talks about the nearness of God as our good. So that's an encouragement that we have. So that's one thing we can desire, and we can control that desire, desiring the presence of God. The second thing that we can desire is the fruit of the Spirit. And Galatians chapter 5 talks about this battle between the flesh and the spirit, and about what controls us and what doesn't. So if I'm desiring to be controlled by the fruit of the Spirit, that will aid in issues of anxiety. So we're talking about love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. Those basic fruit elements of the Spirit. If I desire those, if I pray for those, if I give my life to producing those things out of me, that will also address the issues of anxiety and help bring us peace. Fruit of the Spirit. We long for those things. If I long for those things, that's a desire. If I desire God in that way, that's another thing that Psalm 37 is talking about. That's delighting myself in God, by delighting myself in the fruit of his Spirit. And then the third thing, again, we could do more, but I'm just doing three. The third thing, in addition to desiring the presence of God, in addition to desiring to see the fruit of the Spirit played out in my life, the third thing is for the will of God to be accomplished. And Jesus tells us to pray for that in the Lord's Prayer. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we can desire that God's will be done. Not my will, not somebody else's will, but God's will, God's purpose, God's plan. We are his workmanship. We're created in Christ Jesus. We are his work of art, as Ephesians 2 tells us. Created for the good things of God. So we can desire those good things. We can desire the will of God. And not for it to play out the way I want it to go, but for life to go the way that God has determined it to go. So I can pray for that. I can desire that. So those are three things that I can desire, which will ease the pangs of anxiety and point me in the direction of being able to trust God. huge for us. So I can desire his presence. I can desire what it means to want to participate in and know and experience the fruit of his Spirit. And I can desire and pray for that the will of God will be done as opposed to mine or others. 3 things that will help us to be able to battle anxiety. Pray for awareness of God, nearness of God, that we know his Spirit by participating in his fruit, and that our focus would be on the will of God being done here, just as it is in heaven. We can control that. And that's how controlling our desires in the right way can bring anxiety. Well, one more. We'll talk about the anxiety and fear and control tonight as it relates to the gospel. Actually, all of this is, but it's just really comforting things to think about. Thanks so much for being here today. It's a joy to be with you. If you haven't subscribed yet, go to hit the subscribe page, turn on post notifications so these videos will come right to you. Check us out at everydaytalk247.com. And again, thanks so much for being here, and may God bless you this day with his peace, with his joy, and may he free you from the things that are clutching at us so we're not gnawed by anxiety, but we're nourished by desiring the good things of God. Have a great day. Lord willing, we'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.